What's up, nerds and nerdettes and wee little nerdlings all? It's your buddy Big Johnny G for Two Gun Pixie presents Legendary Gaming Midday Monologue Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm your buddy Big Johnny G, and this is part of my Werewolf the Apocalypse series of videos. This is me and the 27 Warriors have been playing them, and woo, I've really been loving back behind the screen on this one. I really have. I didn't realize how much I missed the game till I started playing it again. Now, last time I was talking about the rite of passage, and several times I kind of stunted what I was talking about because it was getting into more of the pack. And I knew that was going to have to be its own video. So that's what we're doing right now. We're going to be talking about the pack. It's different than your group of adventurers in D&D or your team of investigators in Call of Cthulhu. This is different. This is family. Maybe some of them might be blood related to you, might be cousins or distant cousins, but that's not what I mean. I mean the pack is the family. And everything is expected to be that way. What do I mean? Does your family get along together? It's great if they do. Not every family does. Even friendly families might have things under the surface. And even ones that don't, still don't 100% love everyone 100% all the time. Well, that's what a pack of wolves is. That's what a pack of Garou are. You are a family unit. You work together. You're a pack together. You're members of the same sept and cairn. Your job is Garou. Your existence is Garou. Everything is the family, the pack. And it forms dynamics and a play style that's a little bit different than I've found other RPGs over the decades to be. The pack is the most basic, fundamental social unit that the Garou have. Everyone in a pack is part of a tribe, and the tribes are part of the Garou nation. And there's a sense of oneness all together, but everything comes down to the most basic unit. And that always was since the beginning, and still is the pack unit. Now, an ideal pack, and not all are, NPC or PCs, but the ideal pack would be 5 members, 1 of each auspice. When that happens, that feels great at the table. It really does. But when that happens, there's a synergy, because all the roles are met, and every role is important. Every role plays its part. Maybe not in every hunt, but overall, they're all equally important. Even the lowest of the low. And there's a lot of what outsiders might call infighting when it comes to wolf packs and werewolves. But it's still a family, and there are still lines that, generally speaking, are not crossed. It becomes more and more difficult as the apocalypse grows closer and more packs consist of multi-tribe members, because a lot of clashes come from the personalities, the attitudes, the beliefs that they have as part of that tribe. Now, this composition of the team is also what gives it its strength, because the differences balance out when they need to during encounters with worm creatures, during encounters with leeches, mages, even wraiths. Whatever it is, the team overcomes through cooperative teamwork. Everyone knows their capacities, everyone knows their abilities, everyone knows their gifts. There's a balance. And once it's found, and it's usually found in the heat of combat, action, once it's found, it's like you're in the middle of a grand and perfect symphony. Now, packs are based out of specific cairns or septs. That's where they're part of. They're members of that larger tribe, that larger pack. You know, you have the individual pack members, and you have the cairn sept packs, and you have the tribal packs, and you have the Garou Nation pack. You know, it's like the Russian nesting dolls of pack mentality. it helps and behooves the storyteller to have a solid list of NPCs that incorporate not only the tribal elders running the Cairn Sept, but also the elders of each tribe themselves. Who's the eldermost, of the children of Gaia? Who is the highest rank of the Black Furies? These are things that you're going to need to know, even if they're not the same, more so if they're not the same tribe as your players, because it's part of a unit. They may be parts of other packs, but you're all part of the same unit. And also, let's be honest, the role-playing aspects of this RPG are much higher than most other games that I've played. Any RPG can be played very RPG. But this lends itself more naturally. Every player I have had that has sat down and played this game, newbies to experienced, all naturally fall into role-playing more than they ever have in any of the other games that I've run over the years. Something about this pulls it out. So the more you, the storyteller, know of who the major NPCs, movers, and shakers are in each member's tribe, as well as their sept and cairns, you might also want to know who's the leading auspice, who's the leading philodox, maybe. Who is the leading this and that? You want to know each and every one of these things, because it's all going to come into play at some point or another when you're playing a spanning RPG such as this. So when you're developing your pack and you're putting it together, keep in mind who's around the pack, who's going to be influencing the pack, who's going to be mentors and guiding them. Because everyone has a position they want to pull you in, especially if you're dealing with Shadow Lords. But we don't talk about the Shadow Lords. Okay, let's talk about the gorilla in the room. I have been running RPGs. I'm 55 now, and I've been running them. I've been playing them since I was 8, running them since I was 10. Players don't like to have a boss. It's true. It's true. One of the hardest things when I think it was Phasa, I think did the old Star Trek RPG. We all wanted to play the command crew, the Enterprise, but it's like, who's going to play Kirk, because basically they're the one telling everyone else what to do. And the players didn't like that, so we never got that game off the ground. But this is different. This is a lot different. There is a defined leader in your pack. There is one player who is the boss. There is one player who heads, leads, is alpha to your pack. And if you don't like it, well, you could challenge them. That's another nice dynamic in the game. Yes, there is an alpha to every pack, a leader. But he or she can be challenged at any time, according to the litany, that is not a wartime. So anytime you're not at war, which like the Red Talons and the Get Offenders love to say that we're always at war, the war is upon us always. Whatever your take on it, though, yes, at any time it's not a time of war, pack leadership, tribal leadership, any leadership can be challenged. That's actually a fun part of the game. While other RPGs kind of hem the players against internal group negative dynamics, right? No infighting, no stealing from each other, no attacking or beating each other's characters up. Play nice, like your kindergartners they're talking to you. Not in Werewolf the Apocalypse. You got a problem with the other player's character? Well, you let that character know. And if they have a problem with you having a problem, looks like you're having a fight. You don't like the way she's been leading the group or he's been leading the group? Are we at war right now? No? Well, then challenge them. Infighting is something that happens in packs. There's problems, and they have attitudes and anger. And remember, rage fuels Garou. Play it up. It's part of the fun of the game. Just don't take it personally. Because generally speaking, the Garou don't. It's the human side of them that can take things personally. Which, yes, arguably means every Hobbit can take things personally. I get it. But it's different. It's not a game of D&D. It's not. You're going to have infighting in your pack. And you as a storyteller have to allow it to happen. Just remember the litany. And if there's no reason to, they can fight all they want. But nobody can kill each other. There are rules. There are. Now, with each auspice, when you're dealing with packs, they're going to have certain roles to play when it comes to rites, rituals, and moots. Certain auspices have opportunities to learn these rites quicker than others. Some don't have an ability to learn them pretty much at all. So that's another thing that's going to shine about each member of your pack, is that they will have something on a spiritual level, as far as rites and rituals go, parts to play during a moot that are going to be different and unique from other pack members. And this is going to give them a chance to shine in the moment. And every player loves to have their character shine. And this really is developed to do that. But it doesn't force it. It's natural. It's very organic. And I appreciate that. Now, the last thing I want to mention here about packs is totems. You're not a pack without a totem. Some spirit has to stand up for your pack. Some totem has to align themselves with you, become a mentor figure, a spiritual father, mother figure to the pack. It's a very weird thing to define. It's not divine worship, but there's a sense of something spiritual to them because they're spirits. You're dedicating yourself to them, but you're not worshiping them. It's a fine line to differentiate, but that's the way it's set up. Now, overall, the pack will have one totem. Individual Garou don't get their own totem. Normally speaking, an individual one-pack Garou might have a spirit that looks over him, but more than likely you would probably want to go into the player's handbook, into the resources, and find a spiritual familiar. If that's the way you want to go, if you want your individual or an individual Garou in your pack to have his own spirit buddy, it's not going to give the benefits that a spirit totem has. But it'll give you the feeling that you're looking for. But yes, there are totems attached to each tribe. But the packs, regardless, you could have a pack with a Fianna in it. Doesn't mean they have to have Stag as your pack totem. It's his tribal totem, or hers. It's not the pack totem, unless it chose the pack. Sometimes several totems may vie for one pack. I think that's kind of rare, but as a storyteller, you might want to throw that in to make them feel a little bit more special. Right? Why not? This is an important resource of totem, and it's the only, generally speaking, as far as I remember, it's the only totem that is not really specific to your player, because it counts towards the pack. And the higher points that are in the totem resource for all the pack members that have formed the pack, the more benefits your pack is going to be giving spiritually through gnosis, their spiritual energy, to the spirit. And in turn, the spirit totem is able to give you, the pack, more luck, more abilities, more choices, different things that you can do, the higher the totem resource is. So it really plays up to try to explain that to your players, so that they can dedicate some points or maybe some freebie points to throw at least 1 or 2 dots. If everyone in the pack has 1 or 2 dots on it, you're looking pretty good. Looking great if they all have 2 dots on it, actually, or close to great anyway. But yeah, the pack totem is it'll always be there in the Umbra. It'll be there to give them advice, to help them, besides whatever abilities it may bestow upon them. And every totem is different in what it can do to help the pack. It defines the pack. So be very, very careful in what totem or totems you give your pack a choice to choose from. Because it will really define what the pack does how they react to other certain situations. Like right now, the pack is sort of lion. Lion has chosen the pack. Hasn't traditionally it's out of faith, out of style, because it was a white howler totem. If you don't know about the white howlers, look them up. I don't got time to do a video on them. But has chosen the pack that I'm playing with. So it gives them certain abilities, certain renown, levels of renown. But one of the things is, it says if I'm your totem, you have to protect animals. I'm the king of beasts. If some animal's being killed for absolutely no reason, if it's being harmed for no reason whatsoever, it's your job to protect it. So totems do make demands on the pack. So be careful which totem your pack is aligned with. Yeah, there's probably a lot more. We could probably minutia this out to every single detail, but overall, I think that's a lot of good information that you can have to start with forming your pack. Don't force your players to all choose different auspices. Let them understand the benefit if they do, but you want your players to have fun. So if two players are going to have fun running Orans, or Theurges, or Philodoxes or something, Galliards, Ragabashes, let them. Let them. Nothing about pack definition says that it has to 100% hardcore be one from each auspice. So let the players have fun as they will. Okay? But remember, pack dynamics are on a complexity level to family. Family love, family infighting, family backstabbing, family gossip, family support. It's a mix of all that. It's the it's the most nuanced form of a group I have ever run or played with in any RPG. Far more nuanced than Dungeons and Dragons or Call of Cthulhu or Star Wars. And this brings a whole new definition to what it means to be teammates, pack members.